right, y'all. It's nice to have those cookie cutter teams here in Marvel Strike Force. But what about those individual characters that you can use in plug and play situation, whether it's your arena, your raids, wherever, war? We're going to be talking about, guys, the top 5 plug and play characters today. And of course, we're always going to have some of those honorable mentions. And to do this with me today, man, I got my brother here with me to go over my list. Valley, what?
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you, man? I got a list here today. Top 5 plug and play characters. I know you got a list.
All right.
We haven't shared our list yet with each other.
I don't know what you picked, but we did eliminate a few. There's some really, really good characters that are no-brainers that we eliminated that are not going to be in this list. So if you're wondering why they're not, it's because they're too easy. They're too obvious. We're not talking about them.
Should we even tell them who the characters are that we're not even going to be putting on this list? Should we just make mention?
Yeah, because there's not just end game players watching. There's new players. There's mid game players. We got to tell them who are the no-brainer characters they should be building up. Yeah. So before we get this list, who was eliminated?
We had to eliminate Silver Surfer. Had to.
Oh, that's a very good plug and play character. Can work on any team.
Kestrel.
She works on all the teams as well.
We had to take off Doom.
Pretty much kills everybody.
I mean, you really can't have Doom there. And there was another character here I think I forgot about. That I
Ultron.
Yeah,
the Doom before Doom. Ultron is eliminated.
Ultron or Doom. We had to take those characters off, guys, because ultimately they're too easy. It doesn't. It makes the list not that fun. So we had to get a little creative this time.
It was a top 5. They would have 4 and 1 similar and 1 different. So now that those characters are out there, they're ready on the list. We may have some differences. So hopefully we have a lot of different picks. Let's
your roster's a little bit different than mine, so I'm using them in different areas of the game. So let's jump into the list, man. The first character.
Okay. Oh, hold on. And we didn't pick parameters too. Just the best plug and play characters. We didn't talk about game modes or anything. So you might define this different than I do. And you guys at home might define it differently than we do as well. Yeah. So with all of those disclaimers,
leave it in the comments. I'm curious to hear about your guys' list as well. But the first character that pops, this is in no order, by the way, no order whatsoever.
Okay.
But the first character on my list is Hela.
You're picking 2 characters.
Yeah.
Hela and Greg. You're kind of cheating, dude.
I'm sorry, but I mean, damn it. I had to start off with a bang. I had to start off with a bang, man.
I like your pick. I like this pick. I
think Hela's amazing. It's unfortunate that early players don't really get the option really to be able to get to this character until they get to level 70, right? Because you're locked behind. You got to get to Villains Chapter 7-6 to be able to farm her. Yeah, you can get lucky with some shards. She is in that new milestone orb too, so there's an option that you can probably land some shards for her early and unlock her. But overall, man, at Hela, I just find that there's always some game mode that I can use her in. Dark Dimension, that's obvious. We're not going to talk about that. That obviously you're going to use plug and play characters there, right? But right now, I use her plug and play a lot in War. So you have the Hela Natural team. There is a combination that I like to use with her and another character that is going to be on this list that I'm not going to talk about right now. That I also use in War as well. So I'm going to save that one for a little bit later on.
All right, talk about that War combination when you talk about the other, because I'm curious who you're using these characters on War.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any
raids? Any
use in raids or arena with these characters?
Yeah, definitely raids. So right now, especially for the beta raids, we're doing the difficulty 3 for the beta raids and difficulty 4.3, and I find that using her is a combination a lot with Surprise Surfer, being able to spread those ability blocks. If I have Kestrel there too on some of those nodes, if there's like a Tech Mystic node or Doom raids in general too as well, I'm finding that Hela gets a lot of usage. So although the Asgardian team is not a great team anymore, I'm still finding a ton of usage with Hela and no regrets whatsoever in upgrading this character at all for me right now on my roster.
I like this pick because she's a great character and she's a character that I didn't pick. So awesome first pick. We're starting off good. Nice.
All right, so next character on my list here is Emma. And I guess this is kind of timely, right? Because she just got into the milestone orb too, which took forever and a day.
Yes.
But Emma, for me, is definitely another plug and play character. She honestly, before Infinity Watch, she was on every single one of my arena teams. Doesn't matter what it was. She was on every single one of my arena team, arena defense and arena offense. I just find that what she does with her kit to be incredibly valuable and useful. Passive speed, slowing down, being able to clear buffs off your team. I don't need to explain her kit. She's the amazing character. Right now, I'm getting some usage out of her in these raids as well. So obviously, yes, you have the Axemen. Okay. You have the Doom raids where you're using, of course, Axemen. But my Kitty Pride, my Iceman aren't really built up a lot. So I'm using Emma a lot for that boss node right now. She's very, very good plug and play option for me. There's a few other one of those raids too. I'm thinking it's Alpha.
Quick. Simon, let me Andrew, which lane are you in the Doom raids? Which how much ISO and stuff are you needing for Emma, for your?
I already
raids?
brought her up to 5, but currently I'm on the far right. I'm on the far right lane. So whenever I get to that
far right, okay, so that's the mutants are the first section that you're going
first section there. So I only need ISO level 4. Cool. So I think there's a Doom in the other mutant node, right? If the other mutant boss node, I think, because I don't run the other lanes.
I used to be on that far right. I've been in far left for so long, and mutants the last section there, so I haven't really done mutants a while. But yeah, I think Axeman you could go with in them, but I think Axeman with Emma is works really good in those raids as well, in those some of those boss nodes. But I used to do them every day. I haven't done it for months now.
Well, since the new with the new ISOs now, it kind of changes things a lot for you. But yeah, Emma for me, find her a lot of plug and play for me right now in these raids. Obviously she's great in Dark Dimension, but really raids. And I'm thinking I've seen some combinations with her now on War where I just pulled 6 reds on her. So there's some combinations right now that I'm seeing with War where she's actually better now because of all these counters that the Emma Marauders have. There's some really good solid counters that you could use Emma, Doc Ock for maybe against Heroes for Hire. So I might be trying some of those options soon, but really every single Greek raid, there's always, except for Gamma, there's always an area where I can plug and play Emma and utilize her ability to get some of that content done. So I still do think that Emma definitely worth building up and definitely a plug and play character that I would definitely be using probably for as long as I possibly can with her.
This is a good pick. I like this pick. She's a good character. Yeah. Her passive really, any team she's on, even if you just bring her on for that passive, she helps. Like before the Infinity Watch, you mentioned that you would put her on all your arena teams. She was on every single arena team in mine as well, and she would just die. But her passive
still was
let me get my turn order off. So just having her on, even if she does nothing, is going to help your team. So it's very, very good character.
Yeah, and against a lot of those counters, against a lot of those teams, you had to make sure that you accounted for Emma, or else you were going to pay for it later on. So definitely phenomenal character. Now, next character on my list is Ebony Maw.
Ooh.
Ebony Maw.
Good character. Legendary character. And yeah, Dark Dimension, great. Before Infinity Watch, I never really used him as much in Arena. I didn't really feel like he stood out there anymore. But there are a lot of raid nodes right now where Ebony Maw is quite essential for Doom raids. Obviously, Mystic character, that's amazing. Right now, I'm running through these beta raids, and there's a team comp that I use with. I'm trying to remember exactly what node it is, but there's a few nodes where I get to use Thanos, Ebony Maw, Silver Surfer, and like Shuri as well. I think it's like a tech node, and the back and forth between Shuri and Ebony Maw getting defense up. Every time Ebony Maw I'm putting Ebony Maw right next to Thanos, and Ebony Maw is getting that energy consistently. Every time he does defense up, he's also giving Shuri energy, because whenever she gains defense up, she's getting energy as well. I just find that defense up, that offense down on the other team, being able to do his ult and steal that 15%. I don't know. I just find that there's always a place where I can use Ebony Maw. Definitely in raids. Is probably where he becomes extremely plug and play for me on my roster. I don't know where you're using him right now, but I definitely think Ebony Maw definitely plug and play for me. Definitely the Mystic section in Doom every single day, and I'm experimenting. There's so many options in the Greeks for what are we on, beta or alpha, whatever we have right now in the game. Yeah. There's a lot of options I'm trying out different teams. I do want to try out that Maw Shuri combo. That sounds very interesting. So I'm going to try that next time. But Maw helps your team survive. Between the defense down, offense down on the enemy team, removing turn meter from the enemies, giving it to your team, removing health from the enemies, giving it to your team. He does so much, and he just helps them survive. So yes, it raids. Excellent character. The Black Order's fallen off, but Ebony Maw is not.
Ebony Maw Thanos, I still find to be extremely valuable in Marvel Strike Force at the moment. Now, next character on my list is this guy right here. Probably one of my favorite characters in the game.
Interesting pick.
Probably one of my favorite characters in the game.
I love Turkish Delights too, but why still Zemo? Why still Zemo?
So Zemo this is more of a war thing for me. I find that there's always a matchup where Zemo is the answer. Zemo's on. If there's a Red Guardian on defense, I can't get the taunt. Like people would like to put Red Guardian with Doom so that you can get to Doom and ability blocking. Well, sorry, Red Guardian, I'm going to blow you up and take away your taunt initially on turn 1. Now I can ability block Doom. Like there's always if there's Marauders teams that are there, I can throw in Doom, I can throw in Zemo, and then same thing again, get to ability block Strife or ability block. Not ability block Stripe, but ability block Emma, because he's able to blow up on turn 1. There's just always a war matchup where where Zemo is effective to help me out on turn 1 with an ability block or being able to clear some sort of positive effect. And then also in general, if you're an earlier player, Villain 7, you're like, well, there's Sinister 6, there's Hydra, there's I'm forgetting the aim. Those are your options. Zemo answers all. There's so many minions in that node. Zemo is going to completely demolish those areas. I find that Zemo is probably one of the better free-to-play early game characters that you can get on your roster. Zemo, for me, definitely plug and play. I find a lot more value for him right now in War. I also used to use him a lot in Arena. Once again, Infinity Watch has kind of killed a lot of my Arena comps right now, but Zemo is definitely a really good option there. But even for raids, there are some raid nodes. There's some skill section right now in the beta raids where there are some sections where in the skill nodes, I can use Zemo as well to kind of do that same thing, blow up on turn 1, ability block a key character. I don't know. I think Zemo's probably one of the
Doom. Black Doom.
Yeah, it's a great option, man. He's phenomenal, in my opinion.
I like him as well. That ultimate is awesome. The early ability block, the big blowing up and removing the buffs off the enemy team. That's a big 1-2 combo. I find he falls a little bit after that, but he does still have a lot of value in the raids. Before I build up some of my more characters that I'm using nowadays, he was staple in the Doom raids, and that ability block was key. So I like him. He's a good choice.
Yeah, definitely. And this character right here, this one's gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna explain why.
All right.
I'm gonna explain why in a minute. Red Guardian.
Okay.
Red Guardian. And the reason why I like Red Guardian is for that turn 1 taunt. That turn 1 taunt is what sometimes helps to protect me against some of these other characters that I need to get some time to do some things, right? Whether it's Gamora in a skill node. Right now in Doom, I'm not using Captain Sam because my Captain Sam is like 2 red stars. Like this not viable for me right now. So Red Guardian is one of those characters where, okay, I need some time for Gamora to get empowered. Red Guardian is going to help me to do that with that taunt ability. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but in RTA, once again, sometimes I got to get some abilities off, and he's a skilled character. He's an option that I can throw in RTA where I can get a turn or two where I can get something done. Also in War, if there's let's say that I don't want to use my top tier teams, I don't have my full skill military team built up yet, but I don't have like a top tier team, but I do need some time to get somebody's ability to go off. Red Guardian is there as an option to throw a ton up that would help me with some of those key matchups there. He can also heal. He can also give that defense up. So there's a lot of things that are in his kit. I think Red Guardian might be a little bit of an unsung character, and better option. He does what Drax did, but much better, and is definitely a lot more valuable option I feel in this game.
Yeah, you said it right. He's the 2021 version of Drax. He does what Drax did, but so much better. He's got an ability block. He's got healing. He's got so much more that he does for the team than just tanking. I like this character, and I'm a big fan of the Black Widow movie, so I'm very, very biased towards Red Guardian and Yelena right now. So I like this pick.
Yeah, great. Like I said, a little controversial option here, but I definitely do like him. Now, there are some honorable mentions that I didn't throw on this list, and these are just, like I said, this is just based on how I'm using my roster right now. And I didn't throw Gamora here. She's decently plug and play as well, but I find better with Nebula just because you want her to get empowered quicker. I think Symbiote Spider-Man is kind of like a little unsung hero as well sometimes. I mean, I think you want to always use him with the symbiotes, but there's also some options where you can get a key stun, a 2-turn slow, the defense down if you can use him with Kestrel. Definitely still some good 1-2 punch as well that you can get some good options out of. I talked about this character using her with Ebony Maw, Shuri. That turn 1 defense up. And the ability energy that she can give you, it's random, but an ability energy that she can give you is incredibly key. And using it with a character like Ebony Maw, where every time when Ebony Maw is given defense up, which she'll do often in a raid if you put Thanos next to him, she is gaining ability energy as well. So that means that she can do her defense up a little bit quicker. And then she can also give you a random ability energy to one character. So I do think Shuri is definitely a considerable option as well for a good plug and play character. Night Nurse has some value there too. I think her heals are a little bit quicker in those Doom raids, so I do like her very well. And Minerva could also help with some of those reses in some of those key areas. So a few different characters that I thought about here that were good plug and play options that didn't necessarily make my top 5 list, but definitely were still honorable mentions here.
I like your honorable mentions. They all made sense, and I like your list. There's 2 overlapping characters. There's 3 that we I don't know, not agree on, but that we can discuss in the list. So yes. I know you're curious to see who I picked, so we're going to go over to my channel to discuss that. But I like your list. You picked some good characters. Some of the characters that I didn't pick that you did, I was thinking of picking them, but for one reason or another, I picked some different characters. So yeah, we'll go check them out. I like it. Yeah, and I think and you're good on.
And I think while we switch scenes here, I think that for the most part, right, we're both endgame, but you've been playing a lot longer than I have, so
I've been playing. I started before you, so my count's a little larger.
So our usage of these characters is a little bit different than maybe some of our differences. There's some differences there because of our usage on our rosters, but overall, I like my list, and I'm curious to see what your list looks like too.
Well, let's go wrap this one up and start the new one.
That's true, but appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know what options you guys have. Who have I left off this list? Who should I be considering as a plug and play character? Where are you using their plug and play characters as well, guys? But listen, leave it in the comments. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't liked already, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the links that are down below. Allie, anything that you want to tell them? Any last words before we go?
Gamers are cool, and make sure you subscribe to GoofyRhexxi and give him a subscribe on Twitch as well.
Make sure you subscribe to Valley as well if you haven't done so already, and follow him as well. But let's go watch his list, guys. I'll leave that down below. Appreciate you guys so much. Y'all be blessed. And y'all be safe.
All right, are you ready for the real list? Let's go talk about these real 5 top plug and play characters.
Mister, I've been playing for 1,200 days now. Huh? We're gonna see what this looks like. Is that what we're doing? Okay, all right, we'll see now.
There's gonna be some similarities. There's some similarities and some differences.